The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Cities 92.9, its staff, management, or advertisers.
AKA Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 451-9299. Again, that phone number and text line is area code 309-451-9299. And let me just welcome you all to the show, whether you're watching through Twitter, not Twitter, I'm sorry, brain cramp, rewind, whether you're watching through Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube. If you would like to see me live in the studio on YouTube, go onto YouTube right now. Type in Modern Renaissance Man, right? And when you type that in, you will see me in here live in the studio where I can communicate with you and you can communicate with me and we can have a great conversation. Let me just start this off saying I hope that every last one of you guys that's listening to my voice had an awesome Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys all had Thanksgiving the way that we were supposed to, not the Fauci way. I know there's going to be some out there that's like that, but hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving the unfaucified way, if that's even a word. Hopefully you was able to hug the necks of your loved ones. Hopefully that you guys were able to play games, laugh, draw up memories, even look back and reflect on even ones that you possibly have lost, and also ones that you may have lost just recently. Like we just heard that one of the people that follows lost his mother recently, so name is Dante. So everybody that's listening out there, say a prayer for Dante. Just all you gotta know is the name. The Lord knows his name as well, knows his family. Just pray that God sends comfort to that family through this terrible loss. So appreciate you guys all doing that. And again, during this Thanksgiving holiday, I hope that you guys really did have a great time with your family. I hope that y'all just really enjoyed each other, right? Because this past almost 2 years has been crazy. You know, been a lot of divide going on. There's been a lot of just people being uneasy, a lot of stress, just a whole lot of nonsense, a whole lot of lies. I mean, it's a lot of things that's going on out there right now. But what I want to make sure that you guys all do is make sure that relationships are not ruined. Okay? And that's why I want to bring you guys to this topic right now. And that's dealing with the COVID vaccine and the COVID new variation that y'all heard probably just came out. Guys, let me just say this. Where we are right now, I'm almost sure that the ones that want to get vaccinated are vaccinated. The ones that don't want to get vaccinated are not vaccinated. And now with you knowing that, can you guys just please not make that a conversation topic amongst family? Let me give you an example. If you are of a certain religion, you Christian, let's just say that. You have somebody else that's in your family that may be Muslim. You got somebody else in your family that may be Hindi, whatever the case may be. You guys all know that when you do come together for a family function, you all know what religion each person in the family is, right? And then knowing that with something that you guys don't do, you don't bring it up, you don't talk about it, right? So what I'm saying is this. People have made up their mind to what they want to do by now, whether they want to be vaccinated or whether they want to remain unvaccinated. With that being said, when family come together, hopefully you guys are not making that the reason why you are not coming together. Hopefully the unvaccinated people are not saying, well, since they're vaccinated and they decide to do what they wanted to do with their life, I don't want to have nothing to do with them. I don't want to be around them because they're getting this vaccination. Vice versa. If there are people who are vaccinated, hopefully you are not going around, well, since our cousin and my relative is unvaccinated, I'm not going to have anything to do with them. I'm not going to be around them. I'm not going to do anything with them at all because they decide not to get unvaccinated. By now, everybody should, and I hope and pray that you should, have a great enough mind where you're able to go and research and look stuff up yourself. Because right now, too many people are doing nothing more than relying solely off of what TV is saying. Too many people are doing this. There are people out there, they listen to news, they listen to TV, they will go and repeat it without knowing if it's true or without knowing if it's false. They just figured that if the news told me so and we heard it on the news, it must be right. And it's not. Why am I saying that? I have been away from watching anything, and a lot of people that follow me on my channel, been following me for 3 years, know this. I am the type of person where I just do not watch TV. When I say TV, I don't have cable. I don't have nothing to where I can grab the remote control and flip through channels and watch certain this and certain that. Okay? Now, once I came on the political scene, and what I mean by that, once I've been able to go and speak at political engagements, people are not inviting me to become, let me just reverse it, let me slow down. People are not inviting me to come to speak based on a political position. They are inviting me to come to speak based on the message that I'm bringing, plain and simple. So with that being said, what I've learned and what I've seen is that if you hear a certain thing on the news that's being said, I'm finding that people are not even questioning that. So let me give you an example. People on my YouTube channel have come to me and said, hey, did you hear about X, Y, and Z? And I would say no. Okay, we'll bring up a real subject that's going on right now. Did you hear about the domestic attack in Wisconsin? A guy drove his SUV through a Christmas parade, killing people and injuring over 50 some odd people is what I was told. No, I did not hear that. Okay? Then they'll say, oh yeah, this happened, that happened. They'll give me some details of what they heard. Now, what I would do, I would take that information. I would read several different articles. I will see if there's video out there, and I know that there's news out there. But what I like to do, I like to see, because everybody has a camera in their hand, I like to see what people who are there are videotaping. That's what I go by. So now, what I found interesting, though, is I first went and read some articles. I went and watched different people that uploaded their videos onto YouTube or onto Instagram, whatever. I watched those videos. Then I wanted to see if it was covered by mainstream media. Watched it on a lot of mainstream media channels, guys, and I'm telling you, it just blew me away. I found it very peculiar that they kept trying to not disclose the guy's race. I found that so amazing that they did not want to disclose this guy's race. I found it really amazing that they did not want to say exactly what it was, which was a domestic terror attack. Why do I say that? Because I actually went and I looked up the guy. I looked up videos that he's posted in the past. They're all over the internet if you want to look them up right now. He talks about his hatred for certain groups of people. He talks about his allegiance to like Black Lives Matter and all this. The dude was a rapist, just like the other person that lost his life that they're uplifting as a hero, Rosenbaum. The dude was a rapist. He's on there talking about how he was a pimp and he slept with a girl that was apparently 15 or 16 or even younger. I don't know. But he kept on saying things like he was pimping and she was the H word. I don't know if we can say that on the radio station or not, but he said that she was the H word. She was a whore. She was a hoe. That's what he was saying. Almost like that's an excuse for what he did. So you find these videos of this guy on there pretty much expressing his hatred for a certain group of people, and then all of a sudden he drives his car through a parade, injuring and killing people. But the news kept it away. The minute this thing, and then, I'm making a comparison. Yeah, I'm going there. I am going there. Kyle Rittenhouse, it was like all over the news, like the night that it happened. White supremacists killed black people. White supremacists brought a gun over state lines. White supremacists did this. Oh, this man exercising his white privilege. He did this. He went and killed people. This white supremacist man went into a Black Lives Matter peaceful protest and just started shooting people with AR-15. That's what came out with Kyle Rittenhouse. They had the race. They had everything. They pulled up Facebook videos and started posting them all on the mainstream media. But in this case right here, I found it very interesting that at least on mainstream, from CNN to MSNBC to some of the local news stations, it blew my mind when they said a certain amount of people were killed and over a certain amount of people were injured when an SUV drove through a parade. Okay, like what is that? Was that a Decepticon? It's like, Was that a transformer? What do you mean? People were killed and people were injured when an SUV drove through a crowd of people at a parade. No, a man who turns out to be black purposely drove his SUV through a crowd of people, killing some and injuring others. You see how they try to word it, though? Well, we don't know what happened. We don't know. We don't have all the details, but an SUV drove through a crowd of people and injured several people, and we don't know the specifics, but, it could have been a drunk driver. Maybe it was a runaway car. Maybe it's from that old school movie, Maximum Overdrive, where the cars came alive and started killing people. More of the show when we come back, folks. We're going to take a break. Cities 92.9.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather.
Provided by Dr. Lawrence Lee, Orthopedic and Shoulder Center Studio.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
Injured at work? Dr. Lawrence Lee and staff are experts at treating work injuries. Call Dr. Lawrence Lee Orthopedic and Shoulder Center today. Hey, it's Chris, and my friends at DH Pace are the ones to call when you're having trouble with your garage door. DH Pace will help you with your door or remote. And you need to check out the new LiftMaster Wi-Fi opener. You just load the app on your smartphone, and then you can monitor and operate the door from anywhere. It doesn't matter if you lose the remote, you don't need it. Call DH Pace now and get $50 off the LiftMaster Wi-Fi opener. DH Pace Garage Doors at 309-829-DOOR.
Are you a problem solver? Do you enjoy helping others succeed? If this sounds like you, Cities 92.9 extends an invitation to check out an opening in our sales department. We're looking for people to partner with businesses to help them solve marketing problems and reach goals to make them successful. You will need to earn trust, build relationships, be highly motivated, and be able to work independently in a creative environment. Interested? Go to cities929.com and apply today. We look forward to hearing from you. Cities 92.9 is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you sure you can say sexy mother clucker on the radio?
Yeah, it's the sexy mother clucker sandwich at JP's Wheel and Ale House. Served with American cheese, bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, and a drizzle of honey mustard. It's one of the new boobs of chicken menu items at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
Score big in the private gaming room at JP's Wheel and Ale House with the hottest games from Midwest Electronics Gaming. Over $600,000 was paid out last month. So come in and pull up a seat at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
When your message needs to be heard and seen, do what we do here at Cities 92.9 and call Picture This Billboard Advertising. Their marketing minds can help your message not only stand out and look spectacular, but Picture This has the best digital billboards in key locations around town to get your message seen. Start the conversation today by going online at picturethisadvertising.com. Reinforce your message on Cities 92.9 with a digital billboard that stands out at picturethisadvertising.com.
Great Plains Media helps local businesses stand out from the competition. Here's Ken Ropp on explaining why he feels it's important to be on the radio.
The main thing is if we can get it on the radio and hear it time and time and time again, it'll sink in. And that's huge for us. Whether I'm outside milking cows, I'm going to hear that ad 2 or 3 times during the morning chores, which is great. That means that I'm hearing it, so's everybody else.
Sway potential customers with consistent advertising. Get started at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
Hi, I'm Amanda Klein with INB. Payment processing probably isn't your business's core strength, but at INB, getting payments into your bank accounts is at the heart of what we do. Thanks to our experience in business banking, our new Lockbox Lite service includes us getting and opening your mail, electronically capturing payment information, balancing records, and providing online reports. Find out more about Lockbox Lite at INB.com. INB, member FDIC.
I've seen how the media makes Christians look, makes Republicans look.
The media you can trust. This is Cities 92.9.
What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can also text the show at the same one. Area code 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, I was just pretty much letting you guys know about how this thing that just unfolded with this man that drove his car through a crowd of people. And I was just stating to you guys how his name is it's like I forget what his name is, but his name is pretty different. But anyway, he drove his car through a crowd of people, killing several people and injuring a ton of people. And I was just letting you guys know how, you don't want to make no assumptions about anything about how, you hear Donald Trump saying, you're fake news. You're fake news. You're fake. I don't want to answer any questions. Fake news. Fake. No. Yeah. So like in a case like this, if it wasn't, I'm serious, if it wasn't for Donald Trump actually kind of throwing that term out there saying that the news is fake, I think that it wouldn't have piqued as many people's interest on it. But a lot of people have actually kind of woken up to it and kind of just jumped in and started like, let me look into what this fake news stuff is about. And so, of course, it was one of those things where, oh, my God, Donald Trump is just saying some dumb stuff. He's saying some crazy stuff. Oh, my God, here he goes again saying stuff crazy. But now, if you look at how things are right now, you cannot tell me, man, I'm serious. Just go and look the stuff up, how they twist the news around. They twist things around. Look what they did to Kyle Rittenhouse. That's why I believe that in this case, Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be suing the living daylights out of those news stations. Defamation of character, scrutinize the man. I mean, they caused so much craziness that they had people getting ready to pretty much kill Kyle Rittenhouse, going after him. And in this case that just happened with this guy driving his car through that crowd of people, it just amazed me that they tried to just stray away from identifying who he was. They just completely tried to keep away from it. And you should be asking yourself, why? You know what I mean? Why? Why was he straying away? Why were they straying away from keeping it completely 100% true? Why were they trying to avoid saying what the race of this man was? Why? It didn't fit the narrative. You have somebody on camera saying the type of people that he hate. And then he goes out and he kills people. So wouldn't that be considered a hate crime? If you hate a race of people, if you hate a certain race, and you go out and kill that race, doesn't that make that a hate crime? But I forgot in this case, wait a minute, the guy turns out to be black. He turns out to be black. Well, that don't quite fit our narrative. That won't start any race wars. That won't start any hate wars. That's not enough to get Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, NAACP, Black Lives Matter. That's not good enough to kind of get their attention so we can go out there and start the race war. You know what I mean? So let me throw another little thing in there at you guys, okay? Check this out. Since a lot of people believe, and I'm not saying this doesn't exist. I'm not saying that white supremacy groups don't exist, right? I'm not saying that. But wouldn't you think they'll be coming out right now if a black man who said he hates white people went and he actually killed white people? Wouldn't you think that like the KKK and what they call the guys, the skinheads and whoever they may be, wouldn't you think they'll be out marching too? Why aren't they? About to get in trouble now. I'm just saying, since we all claim about how there's all this white supremacy everywhere and everything, I'm trying to figure out where are those white supremacy people? Why aren't they speaking up for their white counterparts who just got mowed down by a black man who said that he hates white people? Huh? I'm not saying these groups don't exist, but what I am saying is this. Look at the hypocrisy in all of it. Why won't Al Sharpton speak out against this? Why won't Jesse Jackson speak out against it? Why won't NAACP speak out against this? Why won't Black Lives Matter stand up and speak out against this? Why won't they actually denounce the dude like they claim Trump wouldn't do? Remember how they said Trump would not denounce any Proud Boys or any racist groups or anything like that? And you can go on the internet right now and type in Donald Trump denouncing the KKK, denouncing all those groups. He's on there denouncing every last one of them. He's been asked several times in interviews about white supremacy, what do you feel about him? He denounced every last one of them. But right now, we have a black man who mowed down white people in the name of Black Lives Matter. Now, why aren't any Black Lives Matter people doing what Trump did? Huh? Why aren't there? I mean, I'm just saying, are there any videos out there of any of those trio ladies who I forgot now, there's two of them, in Black Lives Matter, Newsom Hawk up in New York, over a certain chapter, very popular Black Lives Matter guy. Why aren't any of them saying, look, we do not condone what this guy did? Why aren't they saying that? Whoa. Newsom Hawk can't say that because Newsom Hawk actually got up there and said, if it does not go the way that we wish it to go, then there's going to be blood, there's going to be burning, there's going to be chaos in the streets because our black... Yeah. What can he say now? What can he say? Because that's exactly what this guy did. What if that guy that killed these people in his parade, what if he said, I'm doing exactly what Hawk Newsom told us to pretty much do because of this, because we're not happy with the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about right now. So what am I saying this for? Folks, if you want to know who the enemy is the media. The enemy is the lie. The enemy is the evil that's working behind it that these people are working with. And I'm going to keep on saying it because the more I keep saying it, the more enraged I see certain people become. I see certain groups become. Because I'm telling you right now, it's all out in our faces right now, folks. It is evil. There are evil presence of entities that are working with human beings right now. And folks, you can sit there and think what you want to, call me crazy. I do not care. I know exactly the things that I deal with. I know the things that I fight against. I know when I go to certain places and I deal with a certain type of person, folks have written me telling me, man, you are absolutely right. I literally was working with evil spirits. I knew what I was doing. I got into Wicca. I got into witchcraft. I was doing dark magic. I was doing this. I was doing that. I played with Ouija boards. They were saying all these different things. They talk about whispering voices to them, all kinds of stuff. And people want to look at them like they're crazy. But we wouldn't think that our politicians would be into stuff like this, right? We wouldn't think that our politicians would be into witchcraft or anything like that, right? But you can go on the internet right now and type it in. You think that these hand signals and stuff that they're throwing up is just because, I'm posing with a cool person? No. They're into dark things. You think that it's by accident that all of a sudden Joe Biden want to shut down the borders and all that to keep y'all focused off an old girl that was working with Epstein? Oops. You think that this is by accident all of a sudden? Now they want to throw our attention off by throwing, there's a new variant. All of a sudden, now that the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff is down, we have nothing else that's going to be of a great importance. No, don't. Hey, what's her name? Is it Ghislaine? Something like that. Ghislaine Maxwell. Now everybody knows she's on trial. Oh, let's get this going. Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial. The lady who worked with Epstein, you mean the guy who supposedly killed himself, was able to break his own hyoid bone by hanging himself, which never happens. And then all of a sudden, borders being shut down. There's this new variant, ladies and gentlemen. Let's focus on that. Let's get back to we gotta push these vaccines. We gotta start the lockdowns all over here. We gotta do all this. No. Put the cameras back on the old girl that was working with Epstein. We done with COVID right now. We passed that right now. We done all of a sudden with these new variants and stuff. Oh, here we go again. About to get those boosters. This was gonna be worse than the last one. Delta ain't got nothing on this new one. I don't even know what the new one is even called. I just heard about it this morning. And when I heard about it, I just kind of shook my head like, okay, here we go again. What are they trying to distract us from? What are they trying to hide? Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial. Why aren't any news stations all over that like they were over Kyle Rittenhouse? Why aren't they focused on this? Because I think this is of great importance. Want to know why? Too many people are tied to it. Yeah. You might find some people that you would never think will be tied into this. Will she talk? Will she oust some people? There's all kind of information that's online that you can watch about this trial right now. There's all kind of information online that you can watch on Netflix right now, a documentary with Epstein, where you can find out a whole lot of inside stuff, papers, documents, displaying all sorts of people that was all involved in this. But I guarantee you they're going to do their best to keep it away, because we might find the very people who run some of these news stations, whether they are producers, whether they are executive this, executive that, whether I don't know what role they play in those news stations, but you might find that some of those names might come up in this matter as well. But do you not think it's crazy that all of a sudden they're trying to change the focus now? Climate change all of a sudden is making a comeback. All these things seem to be, we got to look out for this because this is detrimental. Yeah, you think that's by accident that they're doing it this way? It's not by accident. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to take a break right now. More of the show when we come back. You listen to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
Weather from Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers.
Right Now Assurance. Hey, Larry, it's been a while.
You do know I'm a legit busy accountant, right?
Well, what can I do for you?
My washer broke.
Laundering money again, huh?
Ha ha. Never heard that one before. What can I get quick?
Lots of things.
No COVID delays?
Some, but we've been buying truckloads of appliances direct from the factories.
Well, la-dee-da.
You can see everything that's in stock at ShermansNow.com.
I don't have to talk to anyone?
Not unless you want to.
Okay then. Bye, Paul.
Later, Larry.
We're talking to Tony with the Boys and Girls Club about his experience with Tax and Accounting Plus.
We began a relationship with Tax and Accounting Plus about 3 years ago. It's not just working with Rick alone, it's working with Rick and his entire team at Tax and Accounting Plus. So we get not just the individualized commitment, but a commitment from their entire business. We get to know them, they get to know us.
Tax and Accounting Plus wants to be an extension of your team. Call Rick today or go to taxandaccountingplus.com.
We've missed you. When it's time to fly for business, Central Illinois Regional Airport is ready to welcome you back, getting you where you need to be, with nonstop flights to Detroit on Delta, with connections all across the world. Our commitment to your health and safety begins at our front door. From check-in to arrival, you can fly again with comfort and confidence. From all of us at Central Illinois Regional Airport, we look forward to welcoming you soon. Find out more at Sira.com.
You know, when you're in business and you're trying to maximize your dollar for advertising, everybody's got their niche and say, well, you know, radio's old school. And I would agree with that totally. And there's a lot of people listen to radio still.
We're speaking with Howard from The Door Doctor on why he advertises with Great Plains Media.
On a weekly basis, I have people comment on the fact that how much they hear our commercial. So that tells me that we are getting out there and reaching a pretty good sized audience.
Start growing your business at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
You go to the farmer's market for produce, butcher shop for meat, so why wouldn't you want to use the freshest spices to cook with? Once you go to Spiceworks, you'll taste the fresh flavor that you can't find at your grocery store. When you walk into the shop, you're stepping into a nostalgic and aromatic world. You can chat with Ruben, the owner. Tell him what you're cooking and he'll have the right spice for it. Over 500 fresh herbs and spices that are ground right in the store, plus his own creations like the Redbird Rub. Stop in to see Ruben today at Bloomington Spiceworks, downtown Bloomington.
I want the name of my business out there so it's on people's minds if they have car trouble.
That's Connie Whitty with T-Board Auto Repair on why she advertises. And why do you advertise with Great Plains Media?
I feel like you care about my business as much as I do.
What would you tell a business owner looking to grow their business?
I would think that advertising with Great Plains Media would be to their benefit, that they can pick and choose who they wanted to advertise with according to the demographic they wanted to reach.
Start growing your business at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
After Mark Levin, you'll want to stick around to hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. We'll have you laughing weeknights at 8 on Cities 92.9.
What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at area code 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio and I'm able to see your chats in real time, go on to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and when you do that, you will see where it says live. And when you type on live, there I will be looking directly at you, right? Okay, so before we took the break, we was pretty much talking about how this whole Ghislaine Maxwell case is now on trial, but it seems like it's being overshadowed because all of a sudden a new virus variant happened to break out called Omicron. Omicron has broken out. Now, what you guys ever wonder, like, I'm sorry, I'm about to go in on this. You guys ever wonder, like, what's supposed to be the new thing that this one's supposed to do? They're going to come up with all kind of weird, oh, now this one right here, it's a little different. See, it makes your tongue feel hot whenever you get the Omicron. And then also, it makes your fingertips feel real tingly is what the Omicron going to do. It's way different than that Delta. The Omicron is going to be, I mean, I wonder what they're getting ready to come up with. It's going to have something real different. And then also one of the side effects is it just completely made your eyebrows and eyelashes go crispy. I mean, that Omicron is no joke. And now what they're going to be recommending with the Omicron is that because your eyelashes and eyebrows are going crispy, you're going to have to start wearing goggles everywhere now. So now you're going to have some goggles that's going to be CDC approved goggles to keep you from getting the Omicron. I mean, what are they going to come up with next? I've said this before, and I know YouTube is also coming up with a new policy by January 5th, which a lot of people like myself, we will have to remove our videos for speaking our opinions on COVID-19 because now they're going to be giving us community strikes now for speaking our opinion. No matter if you're a medical professional like myself or any other doctors, any other PAs, any other nurses, any other therapists, they do not care. It's what they say you can say on there as a medical professional. But I told people all the time, it does not matter. The COVID-19 virus was the Nova. Anything that varies from that, yes, it will have its own variants. And most of the time, variants are weaker than the one that actually was the Genesis, right? The functionality of it does not change. Okay, the functionality of it does not change. So if you had COVID-19, you recover with the antibodies. If you just happen to get Delta, it's a good chance you probably won't even notice it. If you happen to get the new Omicron, I mean, unless your eyebrows and eyelashes start falling off or your tongue feel hot. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was throwing shots. That's not what Omicron does. I don't even know what it does yet. All I do know is no matter what, it does not change the functionality of the Nova or where it derived from. So I know I'm going to have to take this video down that I'm recording on YouTube right now because I'm live in the studio recording. I will have to take this video down of me saying this before they give me a community strike. What I don't understand is how can they end up getting me for misinformation when this is just our basic things that we learn in biology and cytology and genealogy. We learn these things there in cytology. We learn these in microbiology. That's what it does whenever there's a variant. Yes, it's going to change. That's why they call it variation. It might have less spike proteins. Instead of having 29 spike proteins, this one may have 14. It does not matter, even if it's even more contagious. The point is, if it's more contagious, that does not make it more deadly. The functionality of it does not change. If you've had COVID-19, you got antibodies, you recover from it. If you happen to get Delta or the new Omicron, there's a good chance you won't even notice that you even got it. But they're going to make it like you need to go out there and get these boosters now because the booster is going to help against Omicron. You just got your booster for Delta, right? But you do know, I have not even heard, in the different facilities that I go to, I have not even heard of anyone yet that actually got Delta. Everyone seems to be getting some shape, form, or fashion of just COVID-19. That's what they tell them. You have COVID-19. You have COVID-19. Oh, breakthrough cases. Breakthrough cases of what? COVID-19. I have not heard nobody say Delta. Well, they want to lie and tell you that it's Delta because there's no way you could have got it again if you've been vaccinated. Lies. You got COVID-19 again. I played a video of Dr. Fauci stating that he stated pretty much that the vaccine is not working. That's what he stated. And that's why you need a booster. Then he went on there saying that, now with the boosters that's coming out right now, we're hoping that it will last anywhere from 3, 6, or a year and all that. But it's unknown right now what the durability of it is. But we hope that the durability. So my question is this to you, ladies and gentlemen, that's listening to me right now. Anything that might have durability, don't they tell you that eventually it's going to run out? Anybody that's listening to me right now, can you tell me how durability makes its way into vaccinations now. Can you tell me why they're changing the definition now? Where you were once, pretty much immunized from, if you got a vaccination, now they're changing the word to protected now. Somewhat protected. All these things are completely changing. A lot of things are changing. Things can be flipped. The media is the enemy, ladies and gentlemen. They get you to see and they want you to think the way that they want you to think. And a lot of people don't catch on to that. Don't believe me? Look what's going on right now. Look what's going on right now with this so-called new variant that's going on right now. Right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Donald Trump pretty much almost get called like a racist, almost like a xenophobe, because he wanted to shut down the borders to Africa? Now, and I quote YouTube, this was from Joe Biden's Twitter. He said, a wall will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. This disease could impact every nation, any person on the planet, and we need a plan to combat it. The next thing you know, from Joe Biden, as a precautionary measure until we have more information, I am ordering additional air travel restriction from South Africa and 7 other countries. These new restrictions will take effect November 29. Now, why isn't anyone jumping on there and calling Joe Biden a xenophobe? Huh? Because he got on there pretty much told and made a statement stating like Donald Trump by banning these travels. Look how pretty much, in other words, look how he's showing how much of a racist he is by banning the countries where there's brown and black people trying to come over to America during whenever coronavirus happened, when Donald Trump limited the restrictions. But then yet he's doing the same exact thing. So why isn't the media doing the same thing to him that they did to Trump? That's what you would call pretty much just neutral journalism, right? So if you can't see, again, I don't care what side you are for. Some people, it's like one of those type of things where if you have a liking for a person, if you like a person, if you respect that person, if they do anything wrong, you would have a hard time calling them out on it because of your relationship or your likeness that you have for them. A lot of people have that issue. You scared to actually go against somebody that you once had confidence in. Why is that? Why are you scared to call them out? I told you guys before. I'll say it all day long. Most people know I voted for the first time in my life this past year. Right? I voted for the first time in my life. I voted for Donald Trump. But one thing I would tell you, I don't agree with everything Trump said. Trump was pushing the vaccine as well. And I completely 100% disagree with it. That's what I'm about. That's how we all should be. But what needs to be understood is what got you to the point in your life? What got you to a point in your own self? How much did you give I don't even know the words I'm looking for. It's like, did you give enough of your own power, your own self over to an individual to where you're almost scared to do or say something to offend them, or you think it will offend them? So therefore, you rather keep your mouth shut than actually confronting the issue. I got to meet Donald Trump, and all day long, got to have a conversation with him, right? But at the same time, if I was to have a conversation with him right now, I would say right to his face again, I disagree with you on telling people to get this vaccination. Plain and simple. I disagree with you on this. No, absolutely not. I will tell him that. That's where I stand. I don't care if he and here's the issue though. Folks, you got to understand something. A disagreement is exactly what that is. It's a disagreement. A disagreement does not mean that I dislike you. A disagreement does not mean I hate you. A disagreement does not mean I think you're the worst person in the world. A disagreement does not mean I think you're stupid. A disagreement does not mean that I think that I'm right. A lot of times a disagreement will be there just because I simply just don't know yet, so I'm disagreeing with you. Period. But a lot of us, you're in a position to where if you're bringing something forward that you feel that is right, and if anyone opposes that, you instantly get this little feeling in your stomach, and you feel yourself getting a little mad, a little anxious, a little excited. You know what I mean? You start to tighten up a little bit. You start to get a little upset because somebody's disagreeing with you. But it should not be that way. You should be in a sense of having your mind open to where whoever it is that you're disagreeing with, it's a possibility that they can bring something to the table that you just don't know yet. There's people that I disagree with all the time, period. There's people that disagree with me all the time. But what I do, if they do disagree with me, whenever they are stating why they disagree with me, we state it. More of the show when we come back, folks. I'm Ty Smith. You listen to Cities 92.9. The dudes talk about Bloomington Normal.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
You're never more than 20 minutes away from the latest Central Illinois weather forecast. When the sky turns gray and the wind picks up, it's your dependable weather on Cities 92.9. Your hometown Ace Hardware reminds you to back the Birds this Friday by wearing something red. Show your support for the home team and remember to get your red on and back the Birds.
Are you a problem solver? Do you enjoy helping others succeed? If this sounds like you, Cities 92.9 extends an invitation to check out an opening in our sales department. We're looking for people to partner with businesses to help them solve marketing problems and reach goals to make them successful. You will need to earn trust, build relationships, be highly motivated, and be able to work independently in a creative environment. Interested? Go to cities929.com and apply today. We look forward to hearing from you. Cities 92.9 is an equal opportunity employer.
We all have someone in our lives that cares for us. But do you know what doesn't care about you? Plumbing issues don't. They don't care if you're having a party, cooking for holidays, or relaxing in a nice warm bath after a long day. Plumbing emergencies can happen at any time. And never at a good time. Don't panic. Just DYI. Dial it yourself and call Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They understand how frustrating it can be. Don't stress out because Summers cares about you. They're dedicated to serving you when the plumbing problems strike. Well, their team of highly trained service experts is here when you need them the most, 7 days a week, because they care. Whether it's a leaking pipe, stubborn clogs, running toilets, you name it, just call Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and get their drain cleaning for only $99. That's right, just $99.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers. Summers.
We're speaking with Bart Alexander from Alexander's Collision and Service Center on what it's like working with Great Plains Media on his marketing efforts.
Oh, I think it's great. I think you guys go above and beyond for me. They're very informative and teach me, help me learn what will help get my name across to people and bring in the clients that I need. And I wouldn't hesitate a bit to do it all over again.
When you're ready to find the right clientele for your business, reach out to GreatPlainsMedia.com to grow your business.
Are you sure you can say sexy mother clucker on the radio?
Yeah, it's the sexy mother clucker sandwich at JP's Wheel and Ale House. Served with American cheese, bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, and a drizzle of honey mustard. It's one of the new boobs of chicken menu items at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
Score big in the private gaming room at JP's Wheel and Ale House with the hottest games from Midwest Electronics Gaming. Over $600,000 was paid out last month. So come in and pull up a seat at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
DNA mowing sucks.
They suck.
DNA totally sucks.
Yep, at DA Mowing and Scapes, we'll suck up your leaves. Make your appointment at damowing.com. This is Davey. I approve this message. It sucks.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Conversations you're having, we just do it on the radio. Chandler and Swan, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. with an encore at 5, brought to you by Nord Outdoor Power on Cities 92.9.
A.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man. And you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at area code 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, I made a comment stating that I want to hit on something a little, different here. And what I mean by that is this. I'm talking about people's mind. I want to hit on the current state of a lot of people's psyche and how physical freedom is not only at jeopardy, but mental freedom has already been completely compromised. You have a generation right now of young people, middle-aged people, and even some older adults. And I'm not saying this to be condescending, but I'm just telling you the truth because I love you. You don't know how to think. You have lost your ability to reason. You've lost your ability to think logically. You don't think. You just respond. You just react. That's what a lot of people do right now. You do not think. You just respond. You're no different than like a Venus flytrap. You only respond when something touches you. That's it. People are just trained to be nothing more today than be some emotional, unstable, anxiety, depressed people. There are people, you ever heard that saying, you are crying for no reason? You are whining for no reason. And most of the time a person's whining is because they can't get their way. We are in a generation of people who no longer think. It's so scary that even if you allowed a person to see, if they came to the revelation that they are not thinking anymore, and you tell them how they can be free, they wouldn't even know how to do it. We're living in a time right now to where they want us to raise children. They want young people to think in a way that they have no way of actually doing it on their own. There is a group of people right now, a generation of people right now. They rely on somebody to tell them what to do. They're being taught to do nothing more than to allow somebody to tell them how to think, what to eat, what to wear, what to say, what to do. Individuality is not being taught anymore. What's being taught is for you to be sheep and nothing more. Now, there's something that's really interesting about sheep. Sheep will follow other sheep without questioning it. As long as they can see a sheep bum in front of their face, they will follow the sheep that's in front of them. Everybody is on the same level. Everybody is following the same exact sheep. The only reason why I'm following them is because they're following the person in front of them. Well, everybody must know what they're doing. This must be the right way because everybody's going that direction. Did you know? And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying it's to be condescending, but sheep are not considered to be the smartest creatures. They had this study they did one time, a long time ago, where they actually wanted to see what would happen. They put these big, huge, like, I don't know what you call these big, like those things that, let's just say it's like the equivalent of like the Hummer version of an air mattress. They blew this thing up full of air because they just wanted to see what sheep would do. They led the sheep to a cliff. And one by one, the sheep, them all went off this cliff. Let me not say cliff. Let's just say a ledge. They all went off this ledge. There wasn't that deep of a fall. Let's just say maybe 10 feet. And they had this big old giant thing blown up at the bottom to catch a sheep when they fall off. All the sheep that went off the edge, all the sheep went. And they was like, wait a minute, this is actually really funny. It was like a myth that sheep follow sheep. But then they actually ended up doing a study and they actually found out that sheep will follow sheep even to death. Not having no sense of danger. All they know, the reason why I went off the edge is because all the other sheep went off the edge. So what am I saying that for? You got a group of sheep-minded people today. They're only saying and only doing what the sheep that's in front of them are saying and doing. Nobody's individual. Nobody wants to think on their own. We now have a group of people that they want to be told what to think. They want to be told what to say, what to eat, what to do, what to think, what to feel. But if anybody does anything differently than that, all of a sudden, you are the one that's the outcast. You are the one that has an ailment. You are the one that has something mentally going on. You are the one that's different. You are the one that's wrong. Because look at the rest of us. We're all in this together. Where have y'all heard that? Where have y'all all heard that? We're all in this together. We're all in this together. I'm not. Y'all might all be in it, but I'm not in it with you guys. No, we're not all in this together. We all don't have the same background. We all don't have the same mindset. We all don't have the same living situation. We all don't have the same marriage situation. We all don't have the same issues going on right now. So no, we are not all in this together. Don't try to cultivate us and put us all together in one box, because that's what I'm saying. You have no idea, folks. That's how they lure you. That's how you get drawn in. That's how you become nothing more but cattle, because they want to repeat things like that. No, we're not. No, we're not all in this together. I'm not with y'all. No, I'm my own self. I'm my own man. I'm my own individual. I'm married to my wife, and I'm not in it together with my wife. Uh-oh. What I'm saying that is this. I'm married to my wife. But me and my wife don't have the same mindset.
It's 4 o'clock.
Trying to avert a crisis. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. President Biden will hold a video meeting with Russian President Putin on Tuesday and is expected to express concern over Russian troop buildup along the Ukrainian border. Fox's Brett Baer asked U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin about the upcoming meeting.
There are a number of things that he'll want to explore with President Putin. I think he knows President Putin very well. Again, I think there's a lot of space here for diplomacy and leadership to work. And again, we're going to remain engaged with our allies in the region and our partners in the region.
U.S. intelligence officials say 100,000 Russian troops are already stationed in fear of Russian invasion into Ukraine early next year. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 has been found in about a dozen states now and is expected to spread throughout the nation. Dr. Amesha Dalja is with Johns Hopkins University.
The vaccine, even if this variant can get around some of that protection, and that's what we're seeing from South Africa, it's still going to protect you against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. And the way you prepare for Omicron is the same way you prepare for Delta. All of that same common sense risk calculation that we're trying to get people to do.
Dr. Dalja is among those who doesn't believe travel bans are effective in preventing the spread of the virus. It's been an unseasonably warm December for areas of the nation that are usually frigid this time of year, but Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz says that's expected to change.
System sweeping across the northern tier of the country. Some areas, particularly in some of those higher elevations, you are going to see fairly heavy snow. This isn't going to just stay to the west. It's going to drift up into the upper Midwest also, as we're going to continue to kind of track that snow shifting off that direction. So heavier snow eventually is on the way.
America is listening to Fox News.
from the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News. From the Fox News Podcasts Network, the Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, going far beyond the headlines, tapping into the massive reporting resources of Fox News to provide a full picture of the news of the day.
I'm Dana Perino.
I'm Brett Baer.
I'm Jessica Tarlov.
I'm Chris Wallace, and this is the Fox News Rundown.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Despite a push by some Republicans to defund vaccine mandates, Congress avoided a government shutdown this weekend. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from Washington.
Democrats defeated an amendment in the spending bill that would have stripped funds for the Biden administration's federal vaccine mandates, but that issue is expected to come up again. The Senate will vote on a Congressional Review Act measure to overturn the regulation requiring businesses ensure a vaccinated or tested workforce. West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin has indicated support for the plan that has Republican backing. The resolution, however, is unlikely to advance in the Democrat-controlled House, and even if it did, would be vetoed by President Biden. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
People who take public transportation in Minneapolis may see a reduction in service beginning today. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports the city is dealing with a driver shortage.
The general manager of Minneapolis Metro Transit says starting today there will be about a 5% reduction in service on bus and light rail routes. The GM said in a blog post they've held monthly hiring events and offered hiring and referral bonuses. And while they have made some new hires, they are still about 80 drivers short. Minneapolis isn't the only area suffering. Virginia's transit authority says certain areas across the Commonwealth are lacking drivers, and it is impacting service. And according to national surveys done in August, several rural communities were especially hard hit by a school bus driver shortage, especially in southern states. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Police in Kenya say at least 21 people died after a bus carrying choir members to a wedding plunged into a river. Authorities say the driver tried to steer the bus past a flooded bridge, but the strong current swept the vehicle into the river in Kitui County. 17 people were rescued. The incident is under investigation. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
The weather is being brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. When you have water in your basement or a fire, call Paul. Paul Davis Restoration, and help is on its way.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
From the Johns and Lexington studios. After an accident, more people are telling their insurance company they want their car repaired at Johns and Lexington because they trust Johns to fix their car on time with the parts and the caring craftspeople to keep your family safe.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can also text the show at area code 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, we had a call that was online, gave his thoughts about the Kyle Rittenhouse case, which I love because a lot of people now are actually waking up and looking at things on their own and coming to their own conclusions. And it's amazing. It's amazing that when we get taught and shown something, if we look at it for ourselves, we all can arrive to the same conclusion. We all can see the color red. We can all be blindfolded. Walk up, They take the blindfolds off. What color is this? Red. Okay, move on. Another blindfolded person comes up. Hey, what color is this when they take the blindfold off? Red. Move on. That's what everybody should have did with this Kyle Rittenhouse case. Even if it is true what people want to tell you what happened, look at it for yourself. And I'm glad that's what a lot of Americans are doing right now. With that being said, we have another caller that's on the line right now, and we're getting ready to address that call. Caller, you on Sleaze 92.9.
Yeah, Ty, this is Todd Smith. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I got a question. I was just listening to the radio. I'm driving cross country.
Uh-huh.
I was just listening to the radio before I stumbled across your station.
Okay.
And they were addressing, they were starting to address conspiracy theories with podcasts called The Conspirator, where they're trying to debunk conspiracy theories about people doing exactly what you're saying, thinking for themselves, having their own opinion. What do you think about that?
I think what it is actually scaring the living daylights out of any of these people that's trying to call people conspirators like that, because what it's doing is actually working out in our favor. And the reason why I say our, because I'm being called exactly that same exact thing right now, being called a conspiracy theorist. And what I like is that a person that I actually been accused of being her brother is Candace Owens. She said, in quotation, she said, experts, air quotes, she said, experts told you if you complied with lockdowns, censorships, masks, and vaccinations, life would return to normal. Conspiracy theorists told you COVID was never going to end and government would use it to usher in totalitarianism, New World Order. Who do you believe now? So I love that, because what this is doing, it's actually making people actually look at the ones that they're calling conspiracy theorists. Let me see what they're saying. Let me see what they're writing. And when they go down that rabbit hole, then they actually come to the conclusion of the truth, and they'll go, wait a minute, what they're saying kind of is right.
Well, what I've found out is that there's a lot of science down that rabbit hole, and there's a lot of validity to this. They're conspiracy theories, but they're not really conspiracy theories. They're accurate theories. But just because mainstream media doesn't agree with them, they're calling them conspiracy theories. So I appreciate your show, though. I just stumbled across it. It's been a pleasure to listen to it.
Oh, man, I really appreciate that, man. Really, really appreciate it that you stumbled on it and then you actually started listening. And hopefully we get to hear from you again. So now, if you do call in again in the future, you can tell me I'm the driving cross country man, and everybody on the show and everybody that's listening on YouTube will know exactly who you are.
All right, sounds good.
So appreciate you calling in, sir, and God bless you.
Yep, take care.
All right, guys, you heard that. He called pretty much letting us know that there's people that are being labeled conspiracy theorists for speaking out the truth. And the reason why they want to throw that label on a lot of people that do this is because it has like such a, I guess you want to say, a negative connotation to it, and it makes people not even want to even get into it, right? So again, shout out to Driving Across Country Man. So we're going to call him. But one thing I love about that as well is this. How is it that the news stations, these are what they're supposed to be, journalists, you're going to tell a medical professional that they're wrong about something? I cannot begin to even tell you guys how many news segments I've seen where doctors would get on there. Matter of fact, I think they just got done doing an interview on CNN some weeks ago with Dr. Bashar. And the darn journalist is sitting there telling a doctor, you're incorrect. You're incorrect. So what I'm getting at is this. When do we come to a point to where doctors who all have differences of opinion in how they treat patients, not all, matter of fact, there's doctors right now, they won't even, if you've been seen by a particular type of doctor, let's just say you've been seen by an orthopedic surgeon. If you're being seen by an orthopedic surgeon all the time, this particular one, if you try to switch, some doctors won't even take you because they're like, well, no, I'm not going to mess with that knee. Trust me, I know. I'm not going to mess with that hip. Oh, no, whatever happened to this lady's shoulder, I'm not going to touch this shoulder. I'm not going to go in and go behind the work of another surgeon that did this. He needs to go back in there and do that. What am I saying that for? All doctors do things certain ways. Not all of them do things in certain ways. Not all of them, if you come in with pain, not all of them are going to prescribe you the same type of pain medication. They won't. The point is that everybody has their way of doing things when it comes to medicine. But what gets me is now YouTube can tell a doctor, you're wrong. YouTube can tell a medical professional, you're wrong. Y'all get what I'm saying? But then yet, what's funny is that then YouTube will play a commercial Have you been suffering from anxiety? Have you been feeling like you not want to go outside? Well, take this Hukamaka Sakabaka. It's been known to cure and help with depression. Side effects include increasing your suicide rate. You might be bleeding out your eyes. You might have a leaky anus. You might have a runny nose. You might have fingernails falling off. You might have diarrhea coming out of your teeth. You might have boogers coming out of your ears. They'll play something like that, but put an ad on there, right? They'll put that on YouTube as an ad. But a doctor getting on there saying, guys, juice these particular items. YouTube up, misinformation. Carrots do not help with health. I'm serious. Excuse me, I'm serious. Fruits and vegetables now, if you tell people to eat more fruits and vegetables, now that's misinformation? Fruits and vegetables, misinformation. You get a tag. Studies have shown that fruits and vegetables have not been shown to help with health. You getting labeled for misinformation for posting about fruits and vegetables. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller that's online right now. We're going to address that call. Caller, you on Cities 92.9?
Hi, I'm a first-time caller to your show, Modern Renaissance Man. How are you, sir?
I am great. Thanks for calling in. What you got, sir?
I want to talk about what you were just talking about with these label. You know why that they label? You were talking about misinformation with fruits and vegetables. You know why that is? It's because I bet you YouTube is maybe fun. They get some of their money from the pharmaceutical companies, and they don't want that to be. That's why they're labeling misinformation about fruits and vegetables being a better way instead of these medications and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe they probably get their funding from a portion of their funding from the pharmaceutical industry. That's why that's why you're seeing the Democrats having the Democratic Party having issues passing universal health care, because that's going to take away money from the pharmaceutical industry. Do you agree?
I completely agree. With that, and we can clearly see it because a lot of them have those sponsors. Some people have shown me. They sent me clips of let's just say if they're watching the Today Show, when the Today Show was getting ready, before they went into commercial break, there was this still shot of Pfizer sitting right there on the screen.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I watch a sports show, and Pfizer has nothing to do with sports. I watch sports shows on, and then I get a Pfizer commercial. I'm like, what does Pfizer have to do with football?
Exactly.
Seriously, it doesn't apply to football. And by chance, what are your thoughts on the whole situation with I missed your show about Kyle Rittenhouse and stuff like that. Well, do you actually believe he was, in essence, do you actually believe he was in fear for his life, or he just used that excuse to shoot someone?
No, sir. And here, this is why I say this, is because whenever that incident went down with Kyle Rittenhouse, I actually got tons of videos from all kinds of sources. I got tons of videos from people that were actually there, and I put all this video together a year and a half ago. I put all this video together, and I showed it on my YouTube channel, and I showed everything that happened from the beginning all the way to the end of the video. And one thing that I love about the video is that the video does not lie. It just does not lie. So an example I'll give you real quick here is when I first played the video, there's a guy that's interviewing Kyle Rittenhouse. He has no idea who Kyle Rittenhouse is. He just goes up to him and say, okay, so what are you doing here? Kyle says, oh, I'm here to protect the businesses, and I got my Medipack right here in case somebody get hurt. I'm going to be running into harm's way to help people out that might get hurt. And then he said, and I also have my rifle as protection, of course. So right there, this was a year ago. And when I played this video, I spoke out and I said to the audience, now this right here already shows motive, right? This shows that he was not there to kill anybody. He literally said, I'm here to protect, there go a word right there, businesses. And then he said, I'm also here to help those that might get injured. He didn't sit there and say, I'm here to help only my white counterparts because, me being his white supremacists, I'm looking for any of my white folks to get hurt so I can go out there and help them. No, he said, I'm here to help anybody that gets hurt. I'm running into harm's way to help those that got hurt. So that right there.
But my question is about you brought up the gun and stuff like that. Isn't it technically, I thought in Wisconsin or in general, I thought there's a gun law that says anyone below 17 can't own a gun. He was 17 when his friend bought him the gun, so technically, shouldn't he have got at least a fine for the unregistered gun and stuff like that?
Well, I hear I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing: the judge threw that out because that's not law in Wisconsin. So Kyle was well within his rights. He was 17 years old, and it was not Kyle Rittenhouse's gun; it was his cousin's gun. And in Wisconsin, you can actually carry a gun at Kyle's age. So that's why the judge threw that weapons charge out. But if there was an actual law, and remember you said under 17, so Kyle Rittenhouse is not under 17. He was 17 on the nose.
No, my mistake. No, my mistake. I meant to say he was a minor. Minors can't own guns, is what I'm saying. I thought there was a law generally that says minors, because they can't, they don't know how to use a gun and stuff like that, and that's why they don't allow people to even buy guns for them. That's what I was wondering.
All right, so I get what you're saying. So in this case, though, in Kyle Rittenhouse's case, the reason why it was thrown out because of all the misinformation that came with it as well. So with Kyle, his cousin, which is true, Kyle was not old enough to purchase that gun, but Kyle Rittenhouse's cousin purchased the gun, and he did not cross the state lines with that gun. You know what I mean? He didn't cross the line with the gun. He didn't bring it from Illinois and brought it over there. So no, if Kyle was in violation of the law, the judge had to look up that law that stated that he was well within his rights to actually carry. And what it came down to actually was funny. What it came down to is that if Kyle Rittenhouse had a gun that was not like an AR Styles, he would have actually been convicted of it, but he had a gun that was like that. I think it had something to do with the length of the barrel.
Was there a pistol?
No, he had an AR-15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, he had an AR-15.
I thought it was like a pistol.
Oh, no, sir. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what a lot of people don't know about the case. That's why that's why the judge threw it out, because now if Kyle did have a handgun, then he would have been in big trouble. But he actually ended up having a AR-15, which is not illegal for him to have.
Weapon.
Yep. And so that right there is.
This is another question. This is what I want to know, actually, as a person who analyzes this stuff, like what we're talking about. Do you think there should be in general, there should be a federal law that prevents wartime? An AR-15 technically is a weapon of war. They shouldn't be selling those to the general public. That should be only for law enforcement and military. Do you agree?
No, because well, you got to think about this. Whenever that was written, the Second Amendment, for one, they didn't have something in mind thinking that we was going to have the technology and the guns that we had today. It was pretty much all about pretty much like what Malcolm X says, by any means necessary. So I do to an extent agree that some people shouldn't have a certain type of gun. Like, I don't think you should be able to buy like a bazooka or some rocket launchers or something like that, or go buy a tank. You know, but like an AR-15.
Yeah, and what people need to realize, when they wrote that law, it was to relegate. People warped the Second Amendment to fit their own narratives and stuff like that, and specifically, like the hardcore right wingers, when they say they don't want their Second Amendment rights taken away, what they need to realize is that law was written to regulate militias back in the Revolutionary War time. So when they read that law, they're taking out that part of the Second Amendment, not realizing that they just wanted to fit their own narrative. Do you agree?
Right. So if this is the case, in this particular case like this, the gun that Kyle Rittenhouse had, since now we know it was an AR-15. Mm-hmm. If you go and watch the video that I did on there, and if you see the mob of people that was chasing Kyle, I think that gun was absolutely perfect for the situation, because I think that a handgun, I don't know if a handgun would have did it, but I think that AR-15, if you watch the video, man, he handled himself really well. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but like I said, because I'm very unbiased when it comes to certain things. But man, if you saw the video, the dude was being chased by a mob of people, And even though he shot one person, you would think that a person in their right mind, wait, he just shot this dude. So what are we going to do? We're going to chase him and see if we can get the upper hand on him. He shoots another guy.
No, but it's funny what you said. You're talking about the shot. Apparently he heard what happened is he heard a shot from the next street over, and that's when he fired. So that's what confuses me. Is that just a narrative?
No. Yes, sir. No, that's a narrative. So again, I have a video. I wish you can get, if you get on my YouTube channel and on my playlist, there's some on there called, it says Kyle Rittenhouse. You will be able to see that while Kyle Rittenhouse is being chased, it was a person that was by a car. He pointed his gun in the air and fired the gun in the air. When he fired that gun in the air, Kyle Rittenhouse turned around. When Kyle turned around, right in his face was Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum grabbed Kyle Rittenhouse's gun. Kyle Rittenhouse fired, shot him, and then shot like 3 more times. So, yeah, man, that's why I say it's so important to get that video out there and all that. And I really do appreciate you calling in. We're going to try to get to some other calls here. But, caller, shout out to you for calling in. Thank you for throwing your opinions in there. Thank you for throwing that word in there. Thank you for throwing your differences and how you look at things and your perspective. This is what we want up here at Cities 92.9. Doesn't matter what side you are on. We welcome everybody's comments, whether you're on the right, whether you're on the left. The point is, it has us all in here talking and discussing this. And the great thing about this is that it also allows us to put the facts out there. Because not saying nothing against the gentleman that just called, ladies and gentlemen, but you see how surprised he was when he said, oh, so it wasn't a pistol. So my question would be, what made him think that it was a pistol? What made the gentleman that just called in think that it was a pistol that Kyle Rittenhouse bought? That's why I say to people all the time, whenever you are hearing certain type of news or anything like that, make sure you go and look the stuff up for yourself. Because again, this is not to say nothing to the caller at all. That's not what we do here. But this is a great example of how you can end up getting misinformation, how things can spread. I mean, that was a great call that he just called in, and the information that he added to it and his perspective, even the questions that he asked. But that's what I like about it, is because he asked the questions. He didn't just come in and say, Kyle Rittenhouse never should have had that pistol. He never should have had that. He didn't do that. He asked like, wait, didn't he have this or didn't he have that? And we find out that Kyle Rittenhouse did not have a pistol. But right now, that's what the media is relying on a lot of us to do, is relying on you to simply go by what they say. Just think he thought Kyle had a pistol. Just like a lot of people thought that Kyle Rittenhouse went there to a Black Lives Matter movement march and just shot a bunch of black people, and he didn't. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather.
Provided by Dr. Lawrence Lee, Orthopedic and Shoulder Center Studio.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
Do you have a sports injury? Dr. Lawrence Lee and staff will get you back in the game. Call the Dr. Lawrence Lee Orthopedic and Shoulder Center Studio today.
Ever find yourself nodding in agreement with someone when you couldn't really make out what they said? You just don't want them to know you're struggling to hear. Or is it them? Secretly, you're thinking to yourself, speak up, you're mumbling. Visit Always Hear Hearing Center for a free hearing test so you'll know for sure if it's you or them. Stop feeling left out and start hearing better with Always Hear Hearing Center. Call right now and rejoin the conversation.
664-6200. Always Hear Hearing Center.
You know, when you're in business and you're trying to maximize your dollar for advertising, everybody's got their niche and say, well, radio's old school. And I would agree with that totally. And there's a lot of people listen to radio still.
We're speaking with Howard from The Door Doctor on why he advertises with Great Plains Media.
On a weekly basis, I have people comment on the fact that how much they hear our commercial. So that tells me that we are getting out there and reaching a pretty good sized audience.
Start growing your business at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
Hey, it's Chris, and my friends at DH Pace are the ones to call when you're having trouble with your garage door. DH Pace will help you with your door or remote. And you need to check out the new LiftMaster Wi-Fi opener. You just load the app on your smartphone, and then you can monitor and operate the door from anywhere. It doesn't matter if you lose the remote, you don't need it. Call DH Pace now and get $50 off the LiftMaster Wi-Fi opener. DH Pace Garage Doors at 309-829-DOOR.
Are you a problem solver? Do you enjoy helping others succeed? If this sounds like you, Cities 92.9 extends an invitation to check out an opening in our sales department. We're looking looking for people to partner with businesses to help them solve marketing problems and reach goals to make them successful. You will need to earn trust, build relationships, be highly motivated, and be able to work independently in a creative environment. Interested? Go to cities929.com and apply today. We look forward to hearing from you. Cities 92.9 is an equal opportunity employer.
We've missed you. When it's time to fly for business, Central Illinois Regional Airport is ready to welcome you back, getting you where you need to be, with nonstop flights to Detroit on Delta, with connections all across the world. Our commitment to your health and safety begins at our front door. From check-in to arrival, you can fly again with comfort and confidence. From all of us at Central Illinois Regional Airport, we look forward to welcoming you soon. Find out more at CIRA.com.
Great Plains Media helps local businesses stand out from the competition. Here's Ken Ropp on explaining why he feels it's important to be on the radio.
The main thing is if we can get it on the radio and hear it time and time and time again, it'll sink in. And that's huge for us. You know, whether I'm outside milking cows, I'm going to hear that ad 2 or 3 times during the morning chores, which is great. That means that I'm hearing it, so is everybody else.
Sway potential customers with consistent advertising. Get started at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
But I care about America first.
We're the media that puts America first.
And I'm not willing to gamble with your life the way the president is.
Cities 92.9.
Going on, Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can also text the show at area code 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio on YouTube, go onto YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you just click on the button that says live, and you can see me live in the studio. And before we took the break, we had a caller that called in, and we're getting ready to address that call right now. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9.
Hey, Ty, how you doing?
I'm always good. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Awesome to hear.
This is Barb.
Hey.
There's a lot of chat going on, a lot of people saying what they want to say. Why don't you guys give this man a call? This is actually lethal.
I know exactly who this is. What would you like to throw in on this, Lethal?
I'm good.
Huh?
I'm good, just trying to stoke the fire.
Oh, you just calling in, just telling people to call up to the show?
That's right.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that then, sis. Okay.
Talk to you later.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen that's listening right now, what you just heard, I call her Lethal. Lethal is someone that's on my YouTube channel who is a moderator, okay? And she's been with me for a long time, her and another person I have on here called Non-Lethal. And what they do, if anybody comes into the live chat and they try to throw out, hate speech or anything like that, they actually keep those things from being put on the channel. So it's the equivalent of what the producers in the radio show do here. There's like a 10-second delay or something like that in the studio, to where if somebody drops a cuss word or the N-bomb or any of those things like that, they're able to cut those things out so you, the listening audience, don't get that. So she just pretty much called in just to let people know that they can call up to the show. So I'm going to address a question that was thrown out here that was by someone on here. And they said, is there individuality in United We Stand to Fight, or isn't that the same as we're all in this together? No, it is not. Because when you say United We Stand to Fight, we are fighting against a common enemy. Now, here's the thing, though. The enemy that we are fighting against when it comes to the United States, we know what that common enemy is, right? That common enemy is not something called a virus that can just float around, whatever like that, and you catch it. That's not what we're talking about. Not only that, notice what you said right there. Two viewer says, isn't that the same as we're all in this together? No. Let me tell you why. Because when you actually unite to stand to fight against something, you go almost pretty much on what we call the defense. You're fighting back. What we're doing right now is cowering. That's called cowering. Locking up. Oh, don't go outside. Don't hug your mom. Don't hug your grandma. Don't hug your brother. Don't hug your sisters. Ooh, be scared. Ooh, you just never know. That's not fighting. That's cowering. Now, there's going to be some people that disagree with that, but I'm telling you right now, that is completely cowering to me. That's not uniting to fight. Well, no, that is a form of fight. No, that's a form of cowering, being soft, and getting your butt whooped by a bully is what that is. And some folks not going to agree with that. I know you're not. I get it. And I'm not trying to make no one get upset or get all, no, but I'm just telling you right now that the way that we are going at it with this so-called we're in it together, we're in it together to be some cowards. We're in this together to be scared. We're in this together to be fearful. We're in this together to not want to say nothing and afraid of offending somebody. No, that's not united we fight. United we fight and saying, look, it's been almost 2 years against this thing. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the ones who want it, then got it. The ones who don't want it are not getting it. The ones who are sitting there trying to do this tyrannical stuff and put this on us, like if we don't get it, I'm going to take this from you and take that from you. And we just supposed to, okay, well, since they're going to take my job, I better go ahead and get this shot that can cause me to have myocarditis or perimyocarditis. People are dropping dead. Yes, they are. I might as well go ahead and get this shot that actually is not going to protect me from anything. It's not going to slow the transmission. It's not going to stop the transmission. Oh, it may make my symptoms milder now. It may. But there's nothing to show proof of that. Just like they showed that with people that have gotten COVID, the CDC has no proof that anybody that actually had COVID and recovered and remained unvaxxed spread it to anyone else. They don't have that. Do they want it? Yeah, right. No, they don't want it. So that's my point. There's a difference between uniting and standing to fight against a common enemy than actually us, we're all in this together, but we just gonna cower and let the enemy just whoop our butt. That way they can just slowly take away your individual rights, your God-given rights. No, that's cowering. That's what we're fighting against. We are fighting against tyrannical, authoritarian, totalitarianism type people. Evil. You listen to Cities 92.9, the News and Talk Bloomington Normal. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. And with that being said, we have a caller that's on the line right now. We're getting ready to address that. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9.
Hey, my man, Todd Smith. It's Big Mo. How you doing today?
Oh, Big Mo, how are you doing, sir? I'm doing good.
I am doing excellent. I got to tell you, when I posted a second YouTube video, I actually got banned for a week.
YouTube banned you for a week, huh?
Yeah, it's just because I called out Anthony Fauci.
Ah, what exactly did you say about the all-genius, all-knowing, beyond Albert Einstein Fauci?
He ain't no Albert Einstein to me. I gotta say, well, he had said something about herd immunity, and I looked it up on the internet, and everything he said did not match. Nothing he said matched the definition of herd immunity, so I called that out, and I said, he doesn't know what the heck he's doing, and I guess they didn't like that, and I actually called out Biden, saying that our patience is running thin, not his, even though you could tell there's a little bit of demonic essence in him. He's still a weak leader, you know what I mean? He's still weak. The devil is still weak. It's only his influence that's strong. But a stronger God. And that's all I got to say. So I looked into alternative resources. Have you ever considered doing Rumble?
I'm on Rumble.
Oh, you are on Rumble?
I'm on Rumble under Modern Renaissance Man.
I'll try to look you up and get subscribed to you.
All right.
Yeah, I decided to post on Rumble, so I got my Rumble account and everything just in case.
Right, and this radio station, Cities 92.9, it's on Rumble as well.
Oh, wow. That's good.
We're on Rumble too.
That's good. I'm happy about that. So I was thinking about posting a video about the Salvation Army. What's your take on that?
Oh, man, you know it is. Anybody that's going with the wokeism, it's just letting me know who's running them. It's letting me know who's providing them with money and who their donors and all that is that be. And again, it's another way of just, look, it's like what they say, follow the money. If you follow the money, you're going to understand why these certain people that are going woke, who they're controlled by. And that's why there's certain celebrities and folks that are actually speaking out against some of this stuff that's going on right now. That shows me who is not controlling them.
Exactly.
So, yeah man, I look forward to, you post a video, I'll get on your channel and try to, drop a little comment or something like that, man. And hopefully, we can hear from you again. You call in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to call in another time then. So I'm definitely going to post that video, and I'm going to let you go so you can get to other callers just in case.
All right, appreciate it. Post those videos, man.
All right, I will, Ty. I'll see you later, man.
All righty, sir. Shout out to the caller there. That is Big Mo. Big Mo is on YouTube as well under that same name, so you can check him out. He's doing videos. He's just kind of starting out, speaking his mind, which is what I'm encouraging a lot of folks to do. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an audience out there for everybody. There's an audience out there for everybody. Make videos, post them. Don't worry about how many people watch them. Don't get hung up on that. Just do what you do to get the word out there, because you're seeing that a lot of people are uniting, and they got different ways of thinking. I'm glad people are out there speaking up and talking and thinking. With that being said, we get ready to address another call here. Caller, you on Cities 92.9. This is Ty.
Hey, how you doing, Ty?
I'm always good. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is official Ryan Nirvana.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just got out of surgery 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad that I'm able to watch your channel.
I'm glad that you're alive and able to watch my channel.
Thank you. I wanted to just comment on the Kyle Rittenhouse saga. I really hope that kid takes Biden and everybody to court for defaming his character. You have the president of the United States calling this man a white supremacist, and he only kills white people? Come on.
Right. That's the sad part about it, man, is that, that's just, it shows me one thing, too. A lot of times we assume that people that are in higher positions, that they get all information and that they know all things, therefore they're going to be right about it. So I'm telling you right now, there's no way that Joe Biden, when he made that statement, there's no way that he looked at this stuff for himself. Somebody whispered in his ear, told him something that's going on, and he just ran his mouth and commented on it. But there's no way he watched it and looked at it for himself. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made that comment.
Yeah, and then it's crazy because CNN is also putting out a bunch of lies about him, saying he crossed state lines and that he is just a vigilante. I don't understand. How can he be a vigilante but yet want to go there and save people's lives?
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm glad people like you guys are able to look at these things and see it for yourself. You're actually able to go and analyze it and see the videos for yourself and form your own conclusion. That's not what they want us to do.
No, and let me just say one final thing here. I watched the whole unedited FBI video of that incident, and there is nothing that I would be able to do differently. So the fact that this even got to trial, the kid was just used as a political weapon, and I hope he gets everything that he deserves in getting his character back.
Absolutely, man. You guys heard that. Appreciate you calling in, man. That is awesome. I hope I hear from you guys again. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this because people are waking up to this. We're not dumb no more. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. Be right back.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
Skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of today. Highs will be in the 40s. Expecting increasing clouds tonight with lows in the 30s and scattered rain showers Sunday with highs in the low to mid 50s.
Weather from Summers Plumbing, Heating and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers.
Need more customers? They're right here, listening to this station. Here's Ryan Scritchlow from Scritchlow Slabjacking to tell you more.
It'll take a minute to get the results that you're wanting, but you will get the results you want. It's not a turn a faucet on and get them right away. You got to build it a little bit, but once you build it, it works. You know your radio ads are working when your customers start referencing your mother-in-law joke out of your ad.
Want to raise your sales? Give us a call here at Great Plains Media, 888-4496.
We're talking to Tony with the Boys and Girls Club about his experience with Tax and Accounting Plus.
We began a relationship with Tax and Accounting Plus about 3 years ago. They work with us, they understand our needs and the importance of making sure that we're transparent in our record keeping and in our audits. We are really accountable to our community. They go above and beyond. We know they're committed to making the Boys and Girls Club successful.
Tax and Accounting Plus wants to be an extension of your team. Call Rick today or go to taxandaccountingplus.com. When your message needs to be heard and seen, do what we do here at Cities 92.9 and call Picture This Billboard Advertising. Their marketing minds can help your message not only stand out and look spectacular, but Picture This has the best digital billboards in key locations around town to get your message seen. Start the conversation today by going online at picturethisadvertising.com. Reinforce your message on Cities 92.9 with a digital billboard that stands out at picturethisadvertising.com.
Hi, I'm Amanda Klein with INB. Payment processing probably isn't your business's core strength, but at INB, getting payments into your bank accounts is at the heart of what we do.
Thanks to our experience in business banking, our new Lockbox Lite service includes us getting and opening your mail, electronically capturing payment information, balancing records, and providing online reports. Find out more about Lockbox Lite at inb.com. INB, member FDIC.
You go to the farmer's market for produce, butcher shop for meat, so why wouldn't you want to use the freshest spices to cook with? Once you go to Spiceworks, you'll taste the fresh flavor that you can't find at your grocery store. When you walk into the shop, you're stepping into a nostalgic and aromatic world. You can chat with Ruben, the owner. Tell him what you're cooking and he'll have the right spice for it. Over 500 fresh herbs and spices that are ground right in the store, plus his own creations like the Redbird Rub. Stop in to see Ruben today at Bloomington Spiceworks, downtown Bloomington.
I want the name of my business out there so it's on people's minds if they have car trouble.
That's Connie Whitty with Debord Auto Repair on why she advertises. And why do you advertise with Great Plains Media?
I feel like you care about my business as much as I do.
What would you tell a business owner looking to grow their business?
I would think that advertising with Great Plains Media would be to their benefit, that they can pick and choose who they wanted to advertise with according to the demographic they wanted to reach.
Start growing your business at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Ty Smith is a red-blooded American.
The American hero they can't cancel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have heroes all over the place.
Cancel this Saturday from 3 to 5 on Cities 92.9.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can also text the show at the same area code, 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, I was pretty much just, laying some things down about how, when our former president, Donald Trump, first started using the terminology going, fake news, you're fake news. A lot of people just, oh my God, this guy all of a sudden, because we're calling him out on some of the stuff he's doing, he wants to call us fake news. And then as people got to looking into it, they started to see it exactly for what it was. And I'm just saying it right now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the things that I'm seeing right now, the enemy of Americans right now is the media. 100% media. So why do I say that? Because cameras do not lie. Cameras do not lie, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that can lie are people. People lie. How is it that people were able to convince you that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist that mowed down a lot of black people? They convinced a lot of people that Kyle Rittenhouse did this to a lot of blacks, and he didn't. I started just pretty much going in on how hypocritical the news media can be, depending on if it's going to be something that's going to be worth their while to push a certain narrative. What are you talking about, Ty? I just pretty much spoke out on how this whole travel ban that this president, as of right now, is doing. He has a travel ban on South Africa and 7 other countries. When Donald Trump did that, all of a sudden Donald Trump was a xenophobe, right? He was a xenophobe. He was racist. He was only doing that to brown and black people. But now that Joe Biden has done the same exact thing, they have nothing to say. It doesn't fit their narrative. We have to ask ourselves, why? Why are they doing this? Why is the media only letting certain things be done? Why is the media only showing certain things? Why is the media being silent on certain things? Why is the media blowing up certain things that you would probably otherwise not pay no attention to? Why? Because again, they know that you can easily be manipulated. I say this a lot. Television. Split it in half. Tele/vision. It's telling you how to vision. That's what it's doing. Television is telling you how to vision. And that's why whenever I get into certain conversations with certain individuals, I'm not hearing what that person think as an individual. I'm hearing whatever mainstream media that they're watching, I'm hearing what that mainstream media has put into their brain to repeat to me to say. The reason why I know this is because I say this all the time as well. There are people from Oregon, people from Southern California, people from Texas, people from Florida, people from New York. When you are in a conversation with me, and it may be something that you might disagree with me on, the word that you're using, it is amazing that you're saying exactly what the mainstream media is saying verbatim. You are literally saying it verbatim. You guys don't even know each other. And I'm not saying this to call anybody out, because a lot of people, when they're on here in this live stream, they think that I'm calling them out. So they'll get defensive. Well, Ty, I didn't mean it like that. No, I'm not talking to you as an individual if you're in this live chat right now. I'm saying it as a general statement. That don't you think that that's amazing? That everybody that's in the United States from all four corners of this nation, the ones that sometimes disagree with what I'm saying, your rebuttal is literally something that the news has pushed out there, and you're saying it verbatim. It just blows my mind. So again, when I talk to people that's like that, it's actually kind of sad, because I'm not talking to an individual with their individual thoughts, with their individual mind, with their individual ideas. I'm talking to someone who is completely indoctrinated. It's no different than you repeating your ABCs to me. That's what I feel like. I'm talking to somebody that just, I can say things like, hey, when it comes to, this virus right now, the functional, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. That's what the guy in Oregon said. Okay. The guy in California, I talked to him about the COVID-19 and how if you actually had COVID already, you got antibodies built up to it. They got a great memory. And so if you happen to get COVID again, they're right there on standby to go. They know how to attack it. They know what to do. They got that information. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made by God. Well, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, oh my God, you said exactly what the dude from Oregon just said. Talk to somebody over in Florida. Well, most likely not Florida, because Florida, they free. Florida is like killing it right now, doing well. Let's just say New York. Same exact thing. I can talk about the same exact thing when it's dealing with COVID, dealing with how your body responds to certain ailments and diseases. That person will respond to me, well, no, because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, wow, oh my God, you've been watching the news and you're saying exactly what these other people said. And it's really sad, because now when I move into my next segment, I'm going to tell you the danger of not being free, the danger of not having your own mind. And we're going to hit on that when we take this break. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ty Smith. You listen to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
Cities 92.9's dependable weather from WMBD.
Temperatures tonight will drop down into the 29-degree mark, right around there, a little bit warmer in some locations, with the rain coming to an end and partly cloudy to mostly clear conditions. The winds will start to pick up, though, and continue into Monday, 33 for a high with windy conditions and sunny skies. WMBD meteorologist Adam Sherwinski.
You're never more than 20 minutes away from the latest Central Illinois weather forecast, guaranteed. Rain, shine, or snow, it's your dependable weather on Cities 92.9. When your message needs to be heard and seen, do what we do here at Cities 92.9 and call Picture This Billboard Advertising. Their marketing minds can help your message not only stand out and look spectacular, but Picture This has the best digital billboards in key locations around town to get your message seen. Start the conversation today by going online at picturethisadvertising.com. Reinforce your message on Cities 92.9 with a digital billboard that stands out at picturethisadvertising.com.
Are you sure you can say sexy mother clucker on the radio?
Yeah,
It's a sexy mother clucker sandwich at JP's Wheel and Ale House. Served with American cheese, bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, and a drizzle of honey mustard. It's one of the new boobs of chicken menu items at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
Score big in the private gaming room at JP's Wheel and Ale House with the hottest games from Midwest Electronics Gaming. Over $600,000 was paid out last month. So come in and pull up a seat at JP's Wheel and Ale House.
You know, when you're in business and you're trying to maximize your dollar for advertising, everybody's got their niche and say, well, you know, radio's old school. And I would agree with that totally. And there's a lot of people listen to radio still.
We're speaking with Howard from The Door Doctor on why he advertises with Great Plains Media.
On a weekly basis, I have people comment on the fact that how much they hear our commercial. So that tells me that we are getting out there and reaching a pretty good size audience.
Start growing your business at GreatPlainsMedia.com.
We've missed you. When it's time to fly for business, Central Illinois Regional Airport is ready to welcome you back, getting you where you need to be, with nonstop flights to Detroit on Delta, with connections all across the world. Our commitment to your health and safety begins at our front door. From check-in to arrival, you can fly again with comfort and confidence. From all of us at Central Illinois Regional Airport, we look forward to welcoming you soon. Find out more at Sierra.com.
You go to the farmer's market for produce, butcher shop for meat, so why wouldn't you want to use the freshest spices to cook with? Once you go to Spiceworks, you'll taste the fresh flavor that you can't find at your grocery store. When you walk into the shop, you're stepping into a nostalgic and aromatic world. You can chat with Ruben, the owner. Tell him what you're cooking and he'll have the right spice for it. Over 500 fresh herbs and spices that are ground right in the store, plus his own creations like the Redbird Rub. Stop in to see Ruben today at Bloomington Spiceworks, downtown Bloomington.
Are you a problem solver? Do you enjoy helping others succeed? If this sounds like you, Cities 92.9 extends an invitation to check out an opening in our sales department. We're looking for people to partner with businesses to help them solve marketing problems and reach goals to make them successful. You will need to earn trust, build relationships, be highly motivated, and be able to work independently in a creative environment. Interested? Go to cities929.com and apply today. We look forward to hearing from you. Cities 92.9 is an equal opportunity employer.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives and restore sight and health for many more. Sign up right now online as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe someone else will be happy too. Go to organdonor.gov. It saves lives. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Dissecting the news with surgical precision.
I don't care one bit what the left thinks of me.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 2 on Cities 92.9.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Ty Smith. You're listening to Cities 92.9. Cancel this. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at area code 309-451-9299. And we are back, and we're getting ready to take this call right here. Caller, you on Cities 92.9. This is Ty.
Hey, this is David. Is it me? Am I on now?
Yes, sir. You're on. This is Ty.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. First of all, I just want to say quickly, I know you're going to end soon, but I believe I discovered you on Brandon Tatum's channel. Have you been on there?
Oh, yes, sir. On the panel.
Yeah, that's how I discovered you, and I've been watching you, following your channel for men. And I just want to say the last caller is a perfect example of the misinformation set out by the media. He even gave some of the words they used. When they called an AR-15, they continually calling that a weapon of war, which it is not. No. It is the prototype, from what I understand, because I listen to a lot of Steven Crowder, and he's taught me so much about guns that I didn't know. And then he talked about the Second Amendment with the militia and all that, and everybody saying we don't need the kind of guns we have now because they have muskets or whatever. But the whole point of the Second Amendment was to protect us from a tyrannical government overreach. And look with this disease, look at the tyrannical government overreach in our country. Then look at Austria and Australia, what they're doing to them. They can't even go 5 miles outside of their house. Nope. And guess what? They can't fight back because guess what? They don't have arms.
Yes,
they're disarmed. And I can't wait until, I believe from after hearing the Tucker Carlson interview with Kyle Rittenhouse, you know that because of the language he was using, he's got lawyers. He's going to sue for defamation.
Yes,
and
sir.
I cannot wait. I want him to end up even richer than Nick Sampson is, because everything they did to defame this boy was just ridiculous. And it just shows you the deception of the devil and of the media. Because like you, I follow people like Drew Hernandez, who was there. So I've seen a good 4 or 5 different videos of the entire incident. And there's no way you can look at those videos and not know that this was complete self-defense. I post all over the web, and I did a couple of shows about the whole thing. And I said, it's cut and dry, clear, but now they're saying he can't. Other people think that he shot black folk. And the whole point of it is he's running with a damn AR-15 in his hand. Forget it. Like I said, I probably would have been in jail, because I'd have stood there and said, okay, who wants to die first? Such a situation like that, I'd have just squeezed and just wiped them all out. But he tried his best to get away. And even after he shot Rosenbaum, he turned around to try to see if he could give Rosenbaum, any kind of first aid or help. But then they found him, and he had to run again.
Yep.
So it's just ridiculous. There's no way you can say that any kind of murder on him. He had nothing but and like you, I saw the videos of people shot at him earlier where he clearly stated why he was down there, and they showed him cleaning up graffiti and just trying to protect the businesses from them being destroyed. And I didn't even know till the trial that was his community. His grandma lived there, and he worked there, so he was there regular. And they're making it sound like he came from miles away just to kill people. And we have all these jerks coming out here that did come from miles away, setting dumpsters and stuff on fire, and basically Rosenbaum wanted to die. I saw the videos of him going, shoot me inward, shoot me inward, and you know what? God was merciful and gave him what he wanted, because he's guilty of I saw his record.
Yes, raping little kids.
Like 9 felonies of raping little children. You know that guilt was on him. So it probably was merciful for him to be taken out. Hopefully there was an angel or something there that said, okay, sucker, you got ready to go to the pit. You want to repent before you go? Hopefully. But, this whole thing is so you cannot be listening to this mainstream media, because they are constantly spinning the racial narrative to keep us separated. And they were on this thing like white on rice. So
absolutely.
Nasty Joy Reid. I can't stand her. But thanks for letting me talk. I know you only got probably like a good minute left. But do you think you're going to be on any Brandon Tatum's? Like Thursday when you put
whenever I get time, Brandon Tatum will let me know. I'll let him know whenever I can come onto the show and do the panel, and then we go from there. But otherwise, I'm super busy with all of that.